now more than ever as an agent, you need to be conveying your value add proposition. Like, what value are you bringing to the table? I know myself and my team bring a load of value to the table. I know we bring more value than all of our competitors. So when I am talking to a prospective vendor, I don't have to sell it to them. I have belief in it. Not to say I get the business all the time. I lose loads. Like, I lose a lot of business. The silver lining in that is actually knowing every property when it comes on, even when it's through another agent, I've known about it. So that makes me feel good. Whereas, 2-3 years ago, all these properties were coming up, I didn't even know about it. Whereas now, I'm on the shopping list. And ultimately, the people who get it and understand it will go with you. And I think you just need to work in a process whereby if the vendor's happy and knows you've got belief in a price that they want to achieve, then you should, you deserve a decent fee. But you really need to understand, and it's fact, there is a difference between an agent and a practitioner. A practitioner who knows exactly what he's talking about, who can command that bigger commission because he can get a better price, because he can run the process better, because he can deal with the buyers in a way the other can't. His price at the end of it is often substantially higher. And you need to have that belief system around yourself when you're presenting, so the vendors feel it as well. And then you've got to prove yourself right over and over again. And there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance as well. Fine line. And I think there are definitely spaces throughout my career, and even today, people will misunderstand confidence for arrogance, but they don't know the process that I've been through for the last 10 years and the experience and the network that I've built, which as a vendor is going to benefit them. So I use that step one to build the rapport, kind of whet the appetite. And so it's kind of like a specialist will always understand the situation before they diagnose, right? They'll take a few tests. They need to understand what they're dealing with. And I think if you want to be paid like a specialist, you've got to act like one. Step one is like to diagnose. So I want to meet the people if I don't already know them. I want to have a look at the property. I want to understand what marketing plan we're putting together. The process is always the same, never changes. But I just want to cater to the right approach, right? And then at that point, that's when I sit down and I ask questions and I don't talk. Because that's all about me finding out the information that I need to diagnose in the right angle, right? So it's really kind of sit down, and I always start that process. I take control from the outset. As soon as I open the door, why don't you give me a quick tour, then we'll sit down, have a quick chat, and I'll get out of your hair. So straight away, like, there's none of that awkwardness. At the beginning when you go to appraisal, there's an agenda and they say, like, let's go. So then we walk through the home, we sit down, and I always start that by saying, listen, I can sit here and tell you how fab I am for the next 25 minutes, or you can tell me how I can help you, and we can navigate through that. And then it starts, and I'll ask questions. Why are you selling? What are you selling for? I mean, motivation is the key ingredient to creating a sale. And so most agents don't ask that. That perplexes me. I don't understand that. Response time is everything. I addressed in that meeting with you why it's important for me to have a second contact on it, because whilst I'm working for you, it's still important that the buyer gets a response efficiently on everything. And we can't lose sight of the fact this is a service-based industry. And so priorities to the vendor, they're paying your fee, your loyalty is always to the vendor, but these buyers become sellers as well. And when you actually buck the trend and get them what they need efficiently, they notice that. We're in a digital world, we're moving even more so in that direction. Social media, those aspects are all taking over, and I believe they're a huge piece of the future of this business. Not all of it, but a huge piece of it. And definitely quick response. People don't have patience. People don't have patience, people are losing patience. So yeah, that's very important. I ask all of my questions in the first meeting and talk less. It's the second meeting when I start to really, propose what I do to maximize the result. After I have the first meeting, either before that or after, depending on the situation, they're sent a proposal kit, which outlines information on me and outlines properties I've sold in the area. So they kind of know everything, and we've built a bit of rapport in that first meeting before that second meeting takes place. When that second meeting happens, I take just one plastic folder. In there has marketing, 1 page. In there has timeline, 2 page, and then the third document, which is an agency. I sit down and I say, listen, let's get into it exactly like I did then, and that's the second meeting.